So I mean, you started off. So your first coaching gig, you was a head coach right out the gate. It wasn't assistant at. I'm not say at all, but you didn't assist out the gate.
So AAU CYO wise, no. And it's funny, I skipped over an important part of my coaching career. That team I had, we were in ISA championship. I had another young man named Devon Brown who was going to St. Mary's in Manhasset. Mm-hmm. At that time, Coach Kloos was the head coach at St. Mary's.
Okay.
Unbeknownst to me, he was sitting in the stands of the championship game. So he's watching my style of play, my style of coaching, how I'm interacting with the kids, the things that I'm asking and demanding of them. We won the championship, and he came up to me. He's like, "Would you be interested in coaching at St. Mary's?" I'm like, "What's St. Mary's?"
Right.
I'm like, "What's St. Mary's?" Never heard of St. Mary's. Went out there. We met. We spoke. I watched it. I'm like, I can do this because his philosophy, his style of play, the way he taught, the things that he demanded, just happened to coincide with what I was already doing. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, it's an easy transition. So my first year out there, I was an assistant on the freshman level, but when I do something, I'm all in. Mm-hmm. So I was an assistant on the freshman level, but I sat on the JV bench as well. Mm. I sat on the varsity bench. So every triple header,
you just getting your reps in.
I was because I needed to learn.
Right.
Like I wasn't if I'm going to do this, I want to win. I'm not going to be content with just doing it and I'm not going to be content with just doing it, subpar.
Right.
So I wanted to be I was a sponge. I wanted to soak up as much information as I could. And that's where it really began to take off for me.
What were some of the duties and the job description that entails being an assistant back then and in that era when you joined the staff at St. Mary's? So,
Coach Kloos, I don't know if you ever met Coach Kloos?
No, I haven't. I know a bunch of people that have.
I love Coach Granby, not taking anything away from him, but Coach Kloos is the greatest basketball mind I've ever worked for or been around. Like, to this day, I will call him, send him footage. I've taken time to him when he was at Iona, to break down his game and look at his shot and stuff like that. When you talk about somebody who took nothing and made them into something, like St. Mary's was unknown before he got the job, right? Then they were a Long Island power. Then they became a national power. And he took that to the man is won at a high level everywhere he's going. Everywhere. So I just soaked up all the knowledge. I was trying to be involved. So what I did, I could handle the basketball. I always said I could handle the basketball. So he gave me the guards. He's like, I want you to get these guys ball handling better. So that's what I did at first. Once I did that, and he saw my basketball mind. That next year, I became the head freshman coach. And what I did was, we had a really again, I've been blessed. We had a really talented team. I knew we would win Long Island easy, but I kind of made like a double schedule. So we played every City Catholic team. Every non-league game, we played every city, and that year we went undefeated.
Tough.
So when he saw that, I could coach and, things of that nature, he began to trust me more. He would, so I went from sitting on the varsity bench doing stats to now he's coming to me mid-game, mid-practice, and he's asking me, Billy, what do you see? What do you think? What about this sub? What about this play, this defense? And, I just went with it. So I was with Coach Kloos out there for 8 years, I believe. Then administration kind of wasn't on board with the way we needed them to be on board anymore. I knew that we would eventually all end up leaving, which was sad because I left the year they became number one in the country with Danny Green in them senior year.
Was that 05? I think Danny was 05 class, 06 class.
Okay, well, whatever. They're number one in USA Today. That was my first year being an assistant at Holy Cross. But I still was involved with those guys. I still talked to them. I coached them all at AAU. And,
Are you still coaching with the Panthers every summer?
Yeah, at that time I went to Panthers. Sorry, I skipped over that. So Gary Charles told me with the young kids, saw what we were doing. We started building.
Yeah, whatever came of that. Once Gary didn't see how you was rocking with your young.
I became a 16 and under coach.
Okay.
I was a 16 and under coach for 4 or 5 years. And again, at that time, you know, nationals was a big thing. So we actually went to Indiana as Danny and Tone and those guys were sophomores. We went to Indiana, lost in the Final Four to the Atlanta Celtics. Who did they have? They had what's my man name? Lou Will.
Lou Will. He was 05 class.
Lou Will. They had another. They had another guard. Man.
I don't know who else they had back in 05.
It was another guard that was tough with him.
Okay.
So we lost to them. And then that following year, Gary asked me if I wanted to do the 17s. So I did the 17s for a couple of years.
As the head?
As the head coach.
Tough.
I did the 17s for a couple of years. Then I, Mr. Cox, Wayne Cox, Marcus Cox was on one of my teams. Tony Bergeron was the head coach at Wings. He left and went to American Christian. So I always told Cox, like, yo, give me a chance at the job. Like, not really thinking he was taking me serious.
Right.
So when Tony Bergeron left, he called me like, yo, what do you want to do? He brought me in for an interview. I interviewed with Bingo. The end of that summer, I was offered the job.
This at Wings Academy
yep.
job I'm talking about.
Yep, but during that
at Wings prior to you getting the head job?
No, so in between St. Mary's and Wings, I was an assistant at Holy Cross for 2 years.
Cross for 2.
Yeah.
Got you. All right, so you just went from being an assistant at Holy to getting the head coaching job at
Wings. Yep.
Got you. And this would be your first high school head coaching job as far as coaching a scholastic
a varsity team. Yeah.
Got you.